In this video, I will be talking about the basics of coding. Coding is instructions for computers using programming languages. It is used in smartphones, traffic lights, self-driving cars, etc. Some programming languages are Java, Swift, Python, JavaScript, C++, etc. We will be going over variables, data structures, control structures, and syntax. Variables store values like integers, strings, etc. They are defined using name and type. Some programming languages like Swift don't require specifying the type of variable. Let's say I have a friend named Jack, who's age 7 and whose favorite sport is basketball. Integer age is equal to 7. Another string called name is set to Jack, and string favorite sport is set to basketball. Data structures are ways to store and organize data in computers so the data can be used to perform operations easily. Data structures edit data by adding, deleting, or accessing data. Examples of data structures are arrays, linked lists, queues, stacks, trees, etc. Control structures help to navigate programs through commands. The two main types of control structures are conditionals and loops. The main types of conditionals are if and if-else statements. If statements execute commands if the condition is true, otherwise nothing happens. If-else statements execute commands if the condition is true, otherwise it goes to the else condition if the first condition is false. If the else condition is true, the command in it is executed, otherwise if it's false, nothing happens. Let's say I go to an amusement park and I want to go on a ride where the minimum height is 60 inches. I'm 61 inches tall, so I'm just tall enough. If height is greater than 60, print tall enough. So the height is 61, which is greater than 60, so the output is tall enough. Let's say I go on another ride where the height range for the ride is 60 to less than 70. So if height is greater than or equal to 70, print too tall. So the height is not greater than or equal to 70, so it will pass this command. Else if height is less than 60, print too short. So the height is not less than 60, so we'll go to the next else. Else, print tall enough. So because it's neither of the first two conditions, we print tall enough. Loops repeat sequences of code and organize them. The two types of loops are for loops and while loops. For loops execute a command a certain number of times based on the index. While loops repeat a command if the condition is true. If there is no incrementing of the value in a while loop, it will run infinitely. Let's say I want to listen to a playlist with rap, jazz, pop, rock, and country music. So the incrementer is int x, which is equal to 0, and it'll increment till the playlist length, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it'll increment by 1 every time. So it'll execute the playlist command and the print playlist value command every time it's incremented. So it will start at 0 and print rap, then at 1 it'll print jazz, 2 it'll print pop, 3 it'll print rock, and 4 it'll print country. Let's say I don't want to listen to the rock song in the playlist. So while playlist counter is not equal to rock, increment the counter, and play the playlist and print the playlist value. So we start at rap and at 0, then jazz at 1, pop at 2. Then we go to rock, but but it we don't want it to be equal to rock. So then this condition is false. So then the loop ends and the output is rap, jazz, and pop. Syntax are the basic rules of programming that are necessary to understand code. It is almost like the grammar of code. Syntax varies with the type of program. Examples of syntax are comments, semicolons, case-sensitive, and class names. Comments are used to give directions or explain some code. Semicolons are necessary after each statement so the code will compile. Case-sensitive means that certain keywords need to be capitalized a certain way. Class names are necessary to identify blocks of code. So for example, in here, after the backslash, I wrote not real command. That is an example of a comment. And after each statement, I put semicolons so that the code will compile properly. Thank you for listening.